I gotta ask you the question. I hate talking about COVID, but for people watching this that are thinking, "Oh, when do we go back to some form of normality?" I think needs to be kind of there's the general consensus. Do you have a guesstimate timeline? As the expert.
First of all, I think luckily you put in general sense of normality or whatever, because mostly I used to hear back a few weeks or months ago even, when will it be normal? I don't think that we'll be going back to normal, quote unquote, anytime soon, if normal means what we had a year ago.
Yeah.
I think we should all be more careful. By the way, I have to say something I've said before also publicly. The best vaccine has been on the market for a long time. It's called a mask. It actually works, 90, 95% effective for preventing getting COVID and preventing the distribution of it. So we can already be well protected. It's not exactly the most comfortable thing, but I personally wear a mask all the time when I'm out, make sure I wear it over my nose. I think these are things that we can already do. I suspect that we will start to see things ramping up in the second half of next year as more and more people get vaccinated. I don't think getting vaccinated is something that that should be taken for granted. So I just actually heard the update of yesterday's statistics, at least here in Israel, that they were bragging about how good the results are for the flu vaccine this year, and that 18% of the population has been vaccinated. And they were thrilled and proud to have been able to increase the number to that. So flu vaccine rates are not very high in general. They vary from country to country and so on, but if the WHO picks the right strains for a flu vaccine, then the efficacy can be decent, can be 40%, 50%. So far, Pfizer and Moderna are talking about 95% efficacy. So we're already way ahead of that. But on the other hand, a flu vaccine is one shot, and the two leading ones, the Pfizer and Moderna ones, are two shots. So it means people have to get the first shot, feel good about it, and then go back 3 to 4 weeks later and get the second shot. And it has to be done in a timely fashion. So that's another logistical piece that we don't hear lots of people talking about. And it may not be so easy to accomplish. People who get the first shot may decide not to go back for the second one because they weren't so comfortable. People who get the first shot may have a problem coming back in the third or fourth week, which is how the clinical studies were done, and may only get it in the fifth or sixth week. We don't know what that does to immunity. There'll be a lot of questions that we'll learn as we see more and more people getting vaccinated. The big question that people are starting to talk about is, once you're vaccinated properly, like in a clinical trial, we don't know how long that immunity lasts. So we don't really know how this will play out from a disease progression perspective, whether the virus will mutate, where it will mutate, to what extent. I would say, though, that we should start seeing economies gearing back up in the second half of next year, where there'll be safer ways to fly and travel, and we'll have gotten used to wearing the masks, hopefully by then, which I think we'll still be doing next year for a fair amount of time, maybe even longer.
Yeah. No, interesting. A lot of good points, and hey, a lot of good questions that you asked. Obviously thought through. We'll hop into a lot more. We could talk about COVID forever, so I just wanted to give people a little teaser. Again, obviously you are the experts, and you were hopping on TV, so I had to get it out there for people. And I think this was good. We'll leave it there. I'm sure if there's questions, if anyone watching this, hey, if you work at Pfizer, you're interested, you've got a few questions. Hey, what was your thought about this? Feel free to ask him. We'll try and put together a bunch of stuff, and I'll throw it at David, and we'll see what sticks. But hey, David, thanks so much for joining. I think this was a great version one, letting people know next videos we are going to go into the company, press releases, news, and all that kind of stuff as well. So, if there's questions, again, ask them below. We don't bite. We will try and get to everybody if we can. If it's on the video, you'll get a response in the comments or something like that. But David, thank you so much. Anything you wanted to say?
Thanks, Jason. Nope, I think that's it for now.